We were lucky enough that, I'll recap here briefly. So we already know that it's unlikely that Old Abe laid any eggs in the field, and probably also unlikely, male or female, that it would have laid eggs in captivity. And there was no evidence to it, especially not from any of Old Abe's handlers. The second taxidermist who claimed that Old Abe was larger and therefore female, was never actually known to see the original Old Abe. We believe he was just speaking to the rumors that had started 50 years earlier. So in February 1904, after the fire that Russ briefly discussed, this also destroyed the collections of the Grand Army Memorial Hall, which was the original museum that became the basis for our museum, destroyed all the artifacts and also the remains of Old Abe. Within a few days, there was a call put out by the then department commander, J.P. Rundle, who was asking for the state's veterans to replenish the museum. And even though Old Abe himself could not be replaced, he was looking for artifacts that could sort of stand for filling the space. Some people actually took it pretty literally and sent in feathers they had saved as souvenirs over the years. They came from as far away as Massachusetts, Iowa, and Ohio. In 1904, the curator of the museum assembled them into this frame, and this frame is in our current collections. It was actually on display for a number of years and came off display in 2010 when I started the museum. It was a good excuse to take a look at this because it was in dire need of conservation and is actually getting fixed at this point in the hopes that we can put it back out on display. I put a close-up on there on the right so you can hopefully read maybe some of the provenance on the feathers. One of the things is that if we were going to take a look at the feathers themselves, we wanted to make sure that the history behind them was solid. There was no point in going through this whole investigation if people were going to wonder, well, how do you even know the feathers came from Old Abe? So I wanted to point out that one of the feathers came from a friend of Robert LaFollin, but more importantly, a total of 6 of the feathers came from W.H. Millward's widow. Millward had been a groundskeeper and caretaker for Old Abe right before he passed away. So that brings us to the present. Actually, this was a few-year project because I didn't really know where to start. I'm not a bird expert. I don't even do much with science. I'm kind of doing the history stuff. But I started asking around. I thought there's plenty of resources on the UW-Madison campus. I was surprised because I was quickly led both west and east of here to speak to people at New Mexico. I was working with a team at Purdue. I was looking to stick with people who were experts in dealing with eagle or other raptor DNA. It didn't wind up panning out. Just when I thought I was going to have to let the project die, I was put back in contact with somebody, a different staff person at the UW Zoology Department, who suggested I just go ahead and give a try to the UW Biotechnology Center. While I had been so focused on finding somebody who was an expert in eagle DNA, I didn't realize that there would be a team right here on the campus who would be willing to learn the necessary things they had to be able to determine gender based on DNA. So it was great. Within a matter of a couple of days of having reached out to them with just this sort of general question, is this even possible? They had already put together a team to tackle it. They were really excited at the prospect. So just to make sure I give them proper credit, I wanted to mention that. So last March, Professor Aylward, who you can see up there in the upper right-hand corner on the right, and the Associate Director, Charles Kaczynski, next to him, and Dr. Jesse Dabney in the middle, came to the museum to look at the piece. And you see me next to him. And on the left-hand side, I have Cricket Harbeck, who is a conservator from Milwaukee. One of the challenges of this project was to make sure we didn't ruin the feathers or the frame itself in the process. My job as collections manager, protecting artifacts is my number one job. It's far more important to me than the science, actually, but we figured if we could all work together, we could take samples with minimum damage. And indeed, we use basically a nail clippers on the smallest feathers, and it's just a fraction you would never even notice. On the larger feather, which you can see there in the lower right, that is the one that came from La Follette. We were able to turn the feather over and cut just a small sliver from the backside, and that actually revealed sort of a chunk of kind of residual DNA up in the feather shaft.
Some flesh.
Yeah. Well, we weren't sure what we were going to find because these are sort of the same as toenails as far as what they contain. But well, we were lucky because all 4 feathers that they wound up testing that day actually did yield DNA. So, and like I said, I am not a scientist, so I won't even try to decipher this. But we got we got the results back about 3 months later, just when I was about to give up that they would ever come back. They gave me about a 20% probability that even one of the feathers would return any information, and the fact that all 4 did was great news. So just to repeat, this is 3 feathers that belong to Millward and the 1 feather from La Follette. And indeed, all 4 showed that they contained Z chromosomes, which are known for the male, and no W chromosomes, which go on female. So it was definitely conclusive. All 4 feathers came from a male bird. So I just wanted to show one picture here in closing because we are such a good-natured staff. So I got the results late on a Friday afternoon when, of course, all the rest of the staff had gone home for the weekend. And I got together with our registrar, and we decided we would let the whole staff know at the same time. So kind of going with that Kurt phenomenon of having a gender reveal party. We did it for, and that's our director, Michael Talsro, holding that proudly. So the thing I want to say is I've been asked since then, so why did we do this? Especially in this day and age, did it really matter? And in my opinion, it didn't matter at all. We thought it'd be kind of fun if Old Abe had turned out to be female, just kind of throw some of those other stories for a bit of a challenge. But the truth is, I just wanted to know something definitive. It's kind of like all the other tall tales that went around with him. We just wanted to get sort of down to the things that had been true. So now we know for sure he never laid eggs. The other thing is we're constantly striving to be relevant for a younger crowd, and we do a lot of. We're trying to put in STEM initiatives, so science, technology, engineering, mathematics. So being able to take a current day scientific approach to solving this problem was very appealing to us. We hope it keeps it more relevant for a younger crowd. If nothing else, it's great just to bring Old Abe's name back out again. I grew up in this state, and I'm not sure I ever heard about him before I started at this museum. So we really just wanted to make sure that he got the credit he was due and bring him back out for new people to talk about again. So I think with that, that's about all I have to share on the testing. I'd be happy to answer any questions, and I'm sure Russell maybe will come back up front.
I just have one comment.
Yeah.
It was not a surprise to find out that he was a boy because you kept referring to him as a he.
Yes, I know. And Russ and I discussed that beforehand, and I wanted to say, and I probably missed that part, but we were going with the prevailing opinion at the time. But yeah, it was really difficult to get our director not to spill the beans before we had our press conference.